Hello. Hello, this is Liz. Welcome to my little urban homestead. Now, throughout the season for tomatoes, I've been picking my tomatoes, eating some and putting the rest in the freezer. I took them out of the freezer yesterday so that they could defrost. Now I'm going to can them up, and because you've frozen them, just look how the skins just come away. None of that pre-boiling or anything. So the majority of them I'll leave in, but if I just see big bits of skin, because some of these Roma tomatoes are quite big, so it's another big bit of skin and in the middle of it as well. So there's about 16 cups of tomatoes in here, and you can see all the juice that's coming out as well. To that I've added about a cup of celery. I'm going to add onions. It's about a quarter a cup of peppers there, different coloured peppers. They are frozen, doesn't matter, and they're just going to give a bit extra flavour. I left the top on that one. So I'm going to slowly bring this up to a boil now and let it boil for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whichever, until I know it's all cooked through, and then I'm going to jar it up. And the recipe is as per your bowl canning book. Stewed tomatoes and vegetables. I brought them to the boil and they've now had about 10 minutes. I have been pulling out some skins, and note to self, next year when I do this, I'm going to have to remember to take out the actual end bits. I forgot this time. Never mind. Now it's just a matter of putting them in jars. This might look like a lot of citric acid. I do use a lot of it, so I bought a 2.5 kilo tub of it. You can use lemon juice, but I'm putting half teaspoon of citric acid in each one, and I've treated myself to a new ladle, which is a lot better. Costs quite a bit though. Also treating myself to a new debubbler. Although you don't really need it with this. It's just I wanted to check the headspace I've been doing, and I always seem to get it right. Yay! So wipe the rim. Let hot. As I told you what I do with tatlers, as soon as there's a resistance, I leave it at that. And I put it in the canner. I'm pressure canning these. Half a teaspoon citric acid. Yes, there are still skins in here. I don't mind those, but now and again when I see a big one, just what I'm seeing at the moment. Whoa, hot. Pull it out. I think that's a bit too much. Bit too much. Doesn't really need debubbling, but do it anyway. Lids and seals, ring, resistance, in the canner it goes. The canner is now loaded and full, and I'm heating it up, and when it's vented for 10 minutes, when it produces a steady stream of steam out here, and it doesn't at the moment, then I'll time it for 10 minutes, and then I'll put the weight on, bring it up to 11 pound of pressure on the dial. I have today changed the overpressure plug and the ring because this lid was not working right. It wasn't coming up to temperature. It's now venting a steady stream, and I'll time it for 10 minutes and then put the weight on, bring it to 11 pound of pressure and let it go for 15 minutes. It's now had its 15 minutes, so I've turned the heat off under it, and I'm just going to leave it to cool down all by itself. Normally takes half an hour, 3/4 of an hour for that to happen. I always wait until this pressure release thing at the back drops down. So although the dial may say 0, if you jiggle around with your weight, you might find a bit of steam that's still showing there is a little bit of pressure still in the canner. So I wait until I hear that drop, and then when it's dropped I know there is no pressure at all in there, so I can take the weight off, open the canner up, and always lift the lid away from you because the steam that comes out is very, very hot. Take the lid off it and then just place it back on top, so it allows it slowly to slightly cool down. Not much, because you're only going to leave it like that for a couple of minutes, but it will slightly cool down. And then because I use tatlers, I pull them out, tighten the lids down and put them on my canning mat to cool the rest of the way down. And I'll show you when I'm at that point. There we have 9. I managed, because the majority of these are ball jars rather than kilner. They seem to be slightly taller but thinner, so I've got 9 in my pressure canner. So I've got 9 jars of stewed tomato with celery, onion and peppers. I've got 2 there that are going in the freezer, so I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I freeze as well as can and dehydrate. But I've got to show you this. In all the years I've been canning, I always get at least a bit of siphoning, and that water is as clear as you can get. I've had no siphoning at all out of any of those jars. I'm really pleased, because this is the first time I've ever had it. Yay! This isn't going to waste. It's the skins of the tomatoes and some celery I didn't use up. I could dehydrate the bit of celery, but I've got some more in the fridge, so I haven't bothered about it. And I could dehydrate the tomato skins and powder them up, but I'm not going to. Chickens are going to have a treat tomorrow. But that little lot, well worth a couple of pounds for the price of the seeds, for me to have fresh tomatoes for several months, and then 9 for the shelves and 2 for the freezer. Lovely. Bye.
It's a